What you just heard then was the reassuring clunk of the Range Rover central locking system, which I think sounds like being locked inside a vault. I'm going to give you a brief update on the costs so far in my second year of ownership. They have been focused around making this car reliable enough to drive down to the Alps after Christmas. So I bought this September 23, so I'm going to give you the costs so far from October 24. The first thing that I noticed was the wing mirrors were not demisting, which is a real pain in a cold country. And one of the best things about this car are the wing mirrors. They're massive, they're really clear to see the whole side of the car. So I got those changed. Now, I got genuine Jaguar Land Rover ones, and they were £140 for the pair. Really simple to change, but you basically unpop the old ones, unplug a couple of connections, spade connections, and then just push the new ones back in. This car hadn't had its transmission fluids changed since new, and the general rule of thumb is about 100,000 miles for new gearbox fluid. And I had mine auto flushed, which I know there's a debate about whether you auto flush it or just change the gearbox oil in a traditional way with a filter. But I had that done by Ian Bodsworth, who I'm sure many watching this video will be aware of. He can be found on the Full Fat forum. I'll stick his details in the description as well. So the transmission oils were done, but then that identified an issue with the prop shaft. The prop shaft has a strange system in the middle of a central bearing that suspends the whole weight of the prop shaft within kind of like a rubber sleeve, and that rubber sleeve just wears out. Mine hadn't gone, but it wasn't far off. So I found a genuine GKN OEM spec prop shaft on eBay, funnily enough, and that was £290. I did a little video of that change. The next issue with the tyres. On this car, I had bought a new set from from Quick Fit last December. Let's see if I can get this right. The Pirelli Scorpion Zero all season PNCS LR tyre. So the approved Jaguar Land Rover tyre for this car. It's the one with the foam in it. Super quiet, great in the dry. I think dangerous in the wet. I've had a bit of chit chat on the Full Fat forum, and people say don't drive so fast in the wet, but I feel I know how fast I should be able to drive in the wet, and those tyres just aquaplaned at the slightest hint of standing water. Obviously when you're doing 70 on a motorway and there's a big stream of water across it, you can expect some sort of movement, but these things were rubbish. So the next issue was tyres. After I replaced the rear bushes on the car, I hadn't had the alignment set up on the rears, and there was a bit of wear on the outside passenger side rear, so I knew the alignment needed to be done. I took that to Quick Fit to start with. They were able to fit me in, but they were rubbish. They managed to align the front tyres with what, I'm not sure, I guess the straight ahead, but they looked at the backs and said they were all seized, which again was just not true, because I'd changed everything recently apart from the tie rods. So I bought a new set of those in case they were seized. I removed the rear wheels, nothing was seized, they just couldn't be bothered to try and get the spanners on it. I took it to vet, so they didn't charge me. Actually, they offered to reduce their £75 alignment fee by £20 because they only managed to do the fronts. So I said, no, you're okay, thanks. I'll take it somewhere who can do the job properly. It went to Venture 4x4 tyres. They aligned all four wheels. I've got the printout from their Hunter system. Everything's green and well within tolerance. So at that point, I had to then bite the bullet on another set of new tyres. Now the previous Scorpions, the fronts still have 6mm on them, but the rears I've left with the tyre fitting people. I got them, so I got Pirelli Scorpion SF2s through Asda tyres, fitted by F1 Auto Centre in Stratford-on-Avon. Long story short, I took them to Stratford Tyres, who I've used for a long time. They said they've just stuck more weights on top of the weights that were already there in order to try and combat the effect of a buckled wheel. So I had 2 buckled wheels on this car, one of which had already been welded. So on top of the £930 for the tyres, I then had to pay another £320 to have the wheels that were buckled straightened, and one of those buckled wheels also re-welded. So quite a chunk of change just around the wheels, but it now does drive beautifully, and these SF2 Pirelli tyres are a huge step forward in the wet. It's also an all-season tyre, and it is 3-peak certified, which the all-season PNCS tyres are not. So I'm not able to drive those previous tyres to the Alps this winter unless I carry snow chains, which I really can't be bothered to do. So that's pretty much it, apart from the final thing I'm going to do, which is do an oil change, and that's why I'm in the car right now, because Maltings, who are great at supplying parts, I ordered from them, I think on Wednesday, air filters, pollen filter and oil filter and engine oil. They've sent me air filter, pollen filter, oil filter, and instead of engine oil they've sent me transmission oil. I'm pretty sure I didn't ask for transmission oil. Total cost, 2nd year of ownership, 3 months in, £2,600. A lot of that is consumables. Big chunk of that tyres, some service cost, but hopefully, touch wood, the car will get us down to the Alps and back. Who knows, we may even find some snow, and if we do find some snow, I shall be sure to take some video of the car in the snow, because that's always exciting. Anyway, that's it for the December update. I shall hope to join you again, or hope you'll join me again on the Alps trip. Thank you very much.